Hey everyone, it's Richard Metal Fan here, bringing you guys a old school album review. And today we're going to be looking into this album's 40th anniversary, which is crazy. This album is now 40 years old. And this is from a band that probably needs no introduction, and a great album from these guys. So, and as you can see below the title, today we're going to be talking about Moving Pictures by Rush, the band's 8th album released on February 12th, 1981 through Anthem Records. Now Rush, I definitely never talked about Rush on my channel. I never even reviewed any of their albums, so this is actually the first time. And if you don't know who Rush are, you must be living under a rock or you have issues. Yes, these guys, progressive rock band titans, hailing all the way from Toronto, Ontario, Canada, formed in 1968. They've put out like classic albums before this, like Fly By Night, The Almighty 2112, and their previous album, Permanent Waves. And this album, I feel like compared to Permanent Waves, like I feel like Rush definitely has like a formula that they stick with, but they also try to like experiment with their sound. And with this album, I feel like um, they kind of like going with more of a more radio friendly format, and has like more tighter song structures, and I don't know. It's just like I don't know what to say. This album is great. This is probably easily in probably my second favorite Rush album, and the first and my number one, which we'll talk about in a couple months when it hits its 45th anniversary. What could that be? But yeah, let's just dive right into this. Like, production, fantastic as always. Rush definitely knows how to get great mixes with their albums. Pretty much know where everything needs to go and what needs to be turned down, turned up, all that good stuff. Vocally, Geddy Lee, he has his signature voice, that really high pitched voice, and his bass playing is really audible. If people don't say that bass isn't really heard, then you must be deaf or something. And just like his keyboards that he also incorporates into Rush's sounds, just really great. Gives it a lot more of a atmospheric kind of vibe to it. Guitar wise, Alex Lifeson, like he can shred like no tomorrow, and has some really great riffs. Like he's one of the best riff kings ever. And drumming wise, late great Neil Peart, rest in peace. The dude's a monster behind the kit, like one of the best drummers I've heard. So without further ado, let's dive in this album track by track. Now starting things off is Tom Sawyer. Now everybody should probably have heard this song at some point, whether it's known it or not. It's for good reason too. It's a great memorable song, a great way to start this album. It marks like the first appearance of like the band using like the synthesizers, and they did it really well and they pulled it off great. And I don't know. It's just pretty much a trademark, shows like the band's like trademark kind of like instrumental ability. Like Geddy's bass and voice just great, do well. Alex's guitar riffs just go through great, and Neil's drumming is just perfectly down just from like the technical detail. And this song is like one of the fan favorites for one of these reasons. It's a fucking amazing song. Great way to start off this album. Then move on to Red Barchetta, which is another classic song, and I feel like it kind of like talks about like a story of a Sunday afternoon drive in the world or an automobile, and the lyrics just really flow through smoothly. The music is just rising and falling to portray the story with sort of like a cinematic kind of view to it, and I feel like this is pretty much how progressive music works to the highest note, and the music and lyrics just combined give it sort of like the technical excellence, the purpose. Next up, we get to one of the best instrumental tracks that I've heard, being YYZ. Now, this is a super technical instrumental that just destroys any other instrumentals known to any mankind, and just in rock, metal, or music, period. It starts off with a very calm intro, which pulls the listener in, and once you're just drop your guard for a sec, all the instruments just jump out together and just hit you at full force. Has some thundering drum work and just heavy riffs in this song, which just makes it a prime candidate for distinction in the first true progressive rock song. And this song is just really just the most technically as well as the more structurally complex of this album. And even so more into like the next song, or the next two songs, which talk about track 5. Oh, I can't even speak today. This album is fucking great. Anyway, moving on to another one of the band's well-known songs, being Limelight, which starts off with a great guitar intro and just really just a fun, catchy song. Especially the lyrics like living on the edge of my mind. It just, once you hear that song, it'll get you stuck in your head. It's just fantastic song. Pretty much another great Rush tune. And then we move on to The Camera Eye, which is the longest song on the album, clocking in at almost 11 minutes long. It is epic, vibrant, and just a great track that just full of energy and has some great drum fills from Neil Peart. And I feel like the drum sound on this album just really just captured just a great performance, and pretty much on this entire album in general. It just shows you really just how amazing a drummer that Neil Peart was, and he will always be a legendary drummer, period. Not just in rock or metal, just in music, period. And then we move on to Witch Hunt. This song is just amazingly creepy yet beautiful. It has some really good synthesizers, which gives kind of like a haunting vibe, and it has some like chimes in the beginning and the sound of wind fading into sounds of like a mob, and then the drums just come in and it just segues into like a great riff, and just the time signatures on this song is just impressive. It's just almost impossible to discern what time signatures you're in, and the lyrics are amazing and it's just delivered well. And then the album closes with Vital Signs, which I think is a great way to end the album. And when I first heard this song, it kind of has a little bit of a strong kind of like reggae influence and a little bit of like electronic percussion. It is a perfect way to end this album, and it's just polished. Just the polished production just goes well with the tightness and the sophistication of the music perfectly. A great way to end this album. Now, overall, Moving Pictures is arguably one of the most definitive Rush albums, in my opinion, and one of the greatest rock albums ever recorded, or in just progressive music in general. So if I were to give this album a score, I'm going to give Moving Pictures by Rush a perfect 10 out of 10. So yeah, that's my review of Moving Pictures by Rush, guys. Let me know in the comments what you guys think about the album, and I'll see you all in the next video. And as always, keep it metal. Thanks for watching.